Melissa Jefferson-Wooden and Oblique Seville. History made at the Track World Championships 100m. Gold medal runner ###. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden of the US and Oblique Seville of Jamaica won the 100-meter finals at the World Championships Sunday in a changing of the guard in track. Jefferson-Wooden, 24, blew away the field in the women's final, finishing in 10.61 seconds to break Sha'Carri Richardson's 2-year-old World Championship record by .04. Richardson barely squeezed into the final and finished fifth despite running a season-best 10.94. Seville, who works with Usain Bolt's old coach, Glenn Mills, reeled in countryman Keyshawn Thompson for a win in a career-best 9.77 in the men's final. Defending world and Olympic champion Noah Lyles finished third. The women's race was pretty much over as soon as it started. Jefferson-Wooden got about a step ahead of Julian Alfred in the lane next to her, then kept expanding her lead and ran hard through the line when she could have coasted. She ended with a .15-second margin over Jamaica's Tina Clayton. The same gap Alfred, who finished third this time, beat Richardson by in Paris last year. This year was about accepting that I wanted to be a better athlete and putting in the work to do so, Jefferson-Wooden said. Richardson, who trains with Jefferson-Wooden, wasn't the same runner as last year or the year before when she won Worlds. After finishing third in her semifinal heat, Richardson had to wait to see whether she would get one of the last two spots. She did and started on the inside in lane 2 but was never a factor. While Jefferson-Wooden jumped and shouted into the stands, Richardson slowly paced the inside of the track with her hands on her hips. The second-place finish for Clayton kept Jamaica on the podium, while its best female sprinter, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, said goodbye with a 6th-place finish. Fraser-Pryce, the Mummy Rocket, has 16 Worlds medals with a chance for one more if she runs in next weekend's relays. She's amazing. She's my idol and who I look up to, Clayton said. Competing with her was an honor. Bolt watched from a luxury box his first return to a big race since he exited the sport in 2017, and was high-fiving and hugging friends when he watched a Jamaican win the men's title for the first time since he left the sport. There were some who argued Seville, not Thompson, who adds this silver to his silver at the Paris Olympics, was the best young sprinter on the island. Seville, 24, has a winning record against Lyles but had not been able to put it together in the biggest races. This time, he did. After falling behind by about 2 steps halfway through the race despite getting the best start, Seville never panicked, closing the gap on Thompson step by step. I knew I could show my dominance this year, Seville said. I just said to myself, okay, it's my year and I'm going to take this moment and nobody's going to take it away from me. The men's race required a restart after Olympic 200-meter champion Letsal Tobago of Botswana was disqualified for a false start. Now, the question becomes whether this is a one-off. Sometimes these things are in the year after the Olympics, or if Jefferson-Wooden and Seville are the sprinters to watch with 3 years and counting until the Los Angeles Games. Jefferson-Wooden certainly looks like a force. A tenor sax player in high school, her college coach once said she sprinted with the form of a kid running on the street. She moved to Florida to train with Dennis Mitchell and alongside Richardson, whose trials and travails have overshadowed women's track for the past 4 years. But Jefferson-Wooden won the U.S. title in 2022, a year when Richardson was struggling, and took the bronze medal at last year's Olympics, after which she declared she was still a baby in the sport with plenty of time to learn. Now, she's got a piece of history, holds the championship record and is .12 off the 1988 world record held by Florence Griffith Joyner. Obviously, having the championship record, even though it was Carrie's, it's mine now, Jefferson-Wooden said. It's kind of crazy to say that. The Associated Press and PA contributed to this report. Every once in a while, athletics gifts us a night that transcends the stopwatch, a night where the roar of the crowd, the flash of the cameras, and the pulse of 2 nations collide to produce history. At the 2025 Track World Championships in Tokyo, such a night unfolded. The men's and women's 100-meter finals, the crown jewels of track and field, didn't just crown champions. They crowned legends. In the space of 20 breathless minutes, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden of the United States and Oblique Seville of Jamaica etched their names into sprinting folklore, delivering gold medals and unforgettable drama. The women's final was already a cauldron of pressure. Sha'Carri Richardson was expected to defend her crown. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, the ageless Jamaican icon, was chasing one last flourish. Shericka Jackson, Julian Alfred, and others lurked dangerously. But when the gun fired, one woman seized her destiny. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, just 24, powered out of the blocks with a drive phase that looked like poetry in motion. By 30 meters, she was in the mix. By 60, she was leading. By 80, she was untouchable. The clock stopped at 10.63 seconds, a new championship record. The stadium erupted. Sha'Carri faltered. Shelly-Ann could only admire, and the track world bowed to its new queen. Melissa dropped to her knees, tears glistening, whispering a prayer. This moment, she said later, was for every little girl who thought she wasn't enough. Tonight, I proved we all are. If Melissa's win electrified the night, Oblique Seville's triumph ignited it. The men's 100-meter final was stacked with firepower. Noah Lyles, the American showman, Keyshawn Thompson, Jamaica's new sensation, and Fred Kerley, the ever-dangerous veteran. Many expected another Lyles-Thompson showdown. But Seville, the quiet warrior, had other plans. When the gun went off, his start was sharp, his stride smooth, his composure unshakable. Lyles surged late, Thompson pressed hard, but Seville never flinched. He crossed the line first in 9.84 seconds, a lifetime best and his ticket into Jamaica's pantheon of sprint kings. For a nation that once lived by the lightning of Usain Bolt, Yohan Blake, and Asaph Powell, Seville's gold felt like a rebirth. Green and gold flags waved furiously in Tokyo stands, while back home in Kingston, streets filled with song, horns, and fireworks. This is just the beginning, Seville said afterward, his voice steady. Jamaica will always be the land of sprinters. What made the night extraordinary wasn't just the individual brilliance, it was the symmetry. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden restored American dominance in the women's 100-meter, joining the likes of Florence Griffith Joyner, Carmelita Jeter, and Gail Devers in history. Oblique Seville rekindled Jamaica's golden flame, following in the footsteps of Usain Bolt, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and Elaine Thompson-Herah. In one magical evening, the balance of sprinting power felt shared. America on the women's side, Jamaica on the men's. The world didn't just watch, it reacted. Sha'Carri Richardson, defeated but gracious, admitted, Melissa earned this. She was unstoppable tonight. Noah Lyles, who finished with bronze, smiled wryly. Oblique got us today. Respect. I'll be back. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.